WEFUNK. We funk.
But let's, I guess, before we're canceled, get us into this episode that we were doing, which was Project Power. Like we said,
Pro-Pow.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And I mean, wow, I guess this one, much different than both Cuties and The Hater. This is like a major blockbuster. This would be in theaters with all of us idiots there on opening weekend, pretty much.
Yeah.
One of those kind of movies.
Well, it definitely, the way it sells, the trailer is all crazy. Like, everyone has superpowers, so it definitely falls into kind of the superhero movie experience that you're hoping for. At least that's how the trailer sells it. And we'll get more into that more later. But, this one's not it's not an MCU movie. It's not a DC movie. It's its own kind of superhero movie, you know what I mean? So, much like Blank Man was.
I guess is Blank Man is that your go-to because you're right, there's definitely like superhero movies, especially in today's day and age, or even when we were growing up 20 years ago, like Batman and Superman were like much more isolated, huge deal. Oh, superhero movie, this is like a weird, crazy thing going on. But now that's like such a huge genre with the 20 plus MCU movies. So, and even with there's been a little bit more like superhero, non-major franchise comic book superhero movies to come out recently. But is still your go-to Blank Man in that in that world of?
Is it a hit? But it's hilarious.
I mean, can I real quickly then give you my counterpart, my Blank Man counterpart, but Meteor Man? Can we compare Blank Man and Meteor Man? I mean, I'd go Damon Wayans over Robert Townsend, but somehow Meteor Man over Blank Man.
Dude, there's something in Meteor Man that like I talk about to this day of just like I think it's more like one of the funnier things that's like put into a movie. But if you remember in Meteor Man, he's like he can fly, but he's afraid of heights. So for like most of the movie, he's just flying like a foot off like the sidewalk.
Yeah. You like hover like a hovering board. Yeah, dude, that's a great call. I think we talked about that when we did our fucking game with our useless superpower game with Andy Dwan.
Yeah.
That one probably came up. But
it is.
yes,
but like,
right,
I always think that's like just a really funny bit to like put in a movie like that. And I remember that from like being little too. But it's always.
I mean, those were both just straight up comedies. Because Blank Man as well was hilarious. He was kind of like a fucking half-wit that dressed himself up as a superhero and then somehow
he
became
was a genius too, right?
Yeah,
he had, like, the inventions and the.
Damon Wayans was, but he was always he was like a nerd, I guess. He was like a Batman kind of. It was
exactly.
It was all his own gadgets, and then David Alan Grier was his.
His cool brother.
Yeah. But comedy classics. But
there's some great ones in that too.
I guess there are some more serious ones. Because for me, I would think that, especially for you, the one that you would go to, and it's been talk on the Geeked Up show, but of course recent Oscar bait. But Birdman. How about Michael Keaton's comeback with Birdman as a superhero kind of movie? About a lot more than it wasn't a superhero movie per se. But I'm fucking counting it.
Yeah, I would count it too, man. The movie's called goddamn Birdman. And plus, he's like in the suit and he's like flying around. There's also like, I would count Birdman.
And of course, just real quick to catch everybody up, but just because Devin held the Oscar after talking to the writer of the thing for a while, a Geeked Up favorite.
Big time. That's why it would have been one of my top ones. You're right. I'm going to say one that I loved as a kid, and maybe I'll let you decide if it's a superhero one or not, but I think it definitely is. What about the Rocketeer? Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
Where the guy had the jetpack, and he was fighting Nazis, and he had a mask.
He definitely had a jetpack and a mask. Fighting Nazis is a little bit more war movie, but I guess the jetpack...
That's kind of Captain America's whole shtick. Is fighting Nazis.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I guess I would count it. I guess, I don't really remember it too much. Was it more just he created a gadget that he would fly around with?
No, he found like a rocket pack.
Okay,
and
so then I'm going with it. If he found it, if he randomly found it, then I'm going.
100%. He finds it like a plane.
But it wasn't like a super power as much as it was just like a cool thing that he had. Wasn't at the end of the movie? Didn't like run out of gas or some shit, and he had to fucking come
he
crashing
had to put, like,
down.
gum on the side of it.
Okay, nice. All right, well then I'm counting it. If he MacGyvered it up like that, then I'm.
Yeah.
See, for me, I had a close kind of one. The ones that I was kind of were thinking about in a similar vein, but how about like the Terminator? You know, he's more of a cyborg, obviously sent from the future to help keep the past from destroying itself, or however you want to put it. But
Gotcha.
superpowers in the sense where you can't fucking kill him. You know what I mean?
Kind of. I would even,
or even Liquid Guy, you know, super villain.
T-1000.
T-1000.
Yeah, I mean, why not? He has powers. He can turn into people. I would kind of call it a superhero movie.
Same thing with like RoboCop. You know what I mean?
RoboCop,
like,
Judge Dredd with Sylvester
okay,
Stallone.
Nice, yeah. See, these are like those. I guess maybe a little bit more like superpower than superhero. I guess RoboCop though and Judge Dredd. They were both saving the world. Terminator a little bit more just into Sarah. I guess maybe Terminator would be like superpowers, not a superhero.
Maybe not Terminator,
but the other
Terminator 2, for sure, dude.
Yeah, that's
Terminator
true.
2.
I guess that is, you know, Terminator 2 by the time.
T-1000 versus because then he's the good guy. No, I'm counting T2. T1 maybe not. T2 100%.
There's actually sorry, go ahead. I'll let you get a couple because I got a couple more from the 90s though.
Oh, I had one from the 90s. I had a couple from the 90s myself. I was going to say, what about The Crow?
Oh, nice.
Brandon Lee.
Yeah, for sure. He was
Big
definitely yeah, big R.I.P. But yeah, he was definitely like an would you kind of consider him an anti-hero?
Well,
you know,
like he was like killed in like his 90s loft in like Seattle, right? He was like killed by the guns, but then he comes back to life and he like can't be killed. Like they shoot him up and he's like can't be hurt. And he's like killing all the people that like killed him. Like
yeah, for sure.
Or some shit.
No,
that's
definitely.
totally serious. That's like the Punisher,
yeah, absolutely.
But gothier. And
no, absolutely. Great call.
And
there was a little bit that turned into a little bit of a franchise because there was The Crow 2, and if he didn't die, that might have been huge because that was like it even had, as we always talk about, but it definitely made our list. I think you might have been one of your selections on my Jammin' World Songs from Movies playlist. But
Pilots, baby. Hell yeah, dude. Dude, and you're right. They did make a bunch of those Crows movies, dude. Was
there more than two?
Dude, like the fourth or fifth one, like it's very out of work. Hold on. A very out of work Eddie Furlong is the Crow.
Oh, dude, can we give a special Netflix and chat? A non-Netflix and chat? Can we do a non-Netflix and chat on Crow? Where's Mans? Can we get Mans on the horn?
Throw Manzi a call and ask him if we can do that episode.
All right, dude. I'm texting him a picture of the DVD cover of that one. But all right, epic call for The Crow. I was going to go with another one, 90s, didn't turn into a franchise, but fucking badass movie, Liam Neeson, Frances McDormand, but Darkman. I guess there actually there was a second Darkman, actually, I think.
There's a third Darkman, too. There's a bunch of Darkmans. And Liam Neeson's only in the first one because, you know, the guy's face just changes, and he's usually wrapped up in tape. So,
yeah, that's not the best part of the movie, and maybe it wouldn't stand the test of time. I remember loving it as a kid, but and you're right, that actually did turn into a hilarious franchise that I like saw the DVDs of and scoffed at ever watching. But
I think
the OG Darkman was a great one.
Die, Darkman, Die. I believe the third one's called Darkman 3. Die, Darkman, Die. Which is like hell yeah, dude. What a great title. To me, I'm going to go kind of another comedy one. I think either late 90s or very early 2000s. I want to say late 90s, but the original Avengers squad. And I'm talking, of course, the Mystery Men.
The Mystery Men, yes.
Ben
I had
Stiller
it down. William H. Macy.
Yes.
Wasn't Janine Garofalo or
the bowler? Yeah, she had the bowling ball.
Yeah, the bowler, exactly.
Greg Kinnear.
I remember liking the Mystery Men. Wasn't the that was like a huge like box office dud though, right? Mystery Men. It was like a huge major budget, expected to be this like fucking Star Wars spoof thing, and then was like a huge failure with for everybody, but
huge flop. Pee Wee Herman was the
yes, Pee Wee.
How could that movie go wrong?
I mean, Stiller that's like one of the few for Stiller that actually I don't know. Stiller, I haven't done my IMDb deep dive, but especially at that era, Stiller was fucking was gold, box office gold around that time.
Yeah, I think that was like pretty around like something about Mary, which was like the big Ben Stiller, and then the Farley Brothers 2 movie was like that shit was everyone loved that movie.
I got another comedy one that I thought you were gonna go with, but from another Geeked Up favorite. But how about Kick-Ass? With the superhero family, Nick Cage and the fucking cursing kids and all, you know, like the adult-oriented superhero movie with kids. Weird concept. I actually liked it, you know. I think that was as a dud. And I think like Mystery Men, a lot of these movies, it's like they don't like what is their audience? You know what I mean? For like a comedy superhero movie.
I don't think Kick-Ass was a dud because they made a sequel and the sequel sucked ass.
Okay, interesting. I've got another hilarious one real quick. How about a trivia question? Let me throw at you. Do you have the, as far as my knowledge, the only rom-com superhero movie? We've given you some comedy superhero movies.
Oh,
how about the rom-com superhero?
Are we talking, of course, My Super Ex-Girlfriend?
Oh yeah,
Uma Thurman.
With Uma Thurman, and then if it's a rom-com, who's it starring? Either Owen or Luke. Which stupid Wilson brother has to fucking is? And what does Vince Vaughn play in this movie? What cheesy sidekick is Vince Vaughn in the? But yeah, no, of course, Luke Wilson and Uma Thurman. I never saw it, but I'm sure it was terrible.
I think I owned it on DVD. Pretty bad.
It's a good compromise between. I'm not seeing the Avengers. Yeah. I'm not seeing the Hugh Grant movie. Okay, we'll both suffer through this shit.
Then we're watching Hellboy.
All right, Hellboy, that's a good one. The a little bit more new, much like Hancock.
Well, not the new ones, not the ones with the guy Harper from Stranger Things, but the old Ron Perlman ones.
Oh, okay, yes.
All terrible.
Actually,
that's not true. The first Hellboy is actually pretty good.
Yeah, isn't that a cult classic, actually? Like Toxic Avenger and whatnot? Like Toxic Avenger, another superhero.
Hell yeah.
I mean, was that the real precipice, or the, like, well, I guess not so much, but how about the Ninja Turtles? They're kind of Toxic Avenger-like.
Yeah,
a little bit of a
Ninja
spoof.
Turtles
you know, I don't know if that's after the same...
coin flip of would they count as a superhero genre or not.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They're just like maybe too much in the franchise world, you know what I mean? It's like fucking saying Superman, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. But yeah, I guess they would be. They even wear masks for no reason. To hide their identity of being giant turtles. So yes. Much like then all those movies.
Yeah, and in the vein of Ninja Turtles, we have Project Power.
Big F! WEFUNK. We funk.